What's up, everybody? It's Josh, and we need to talk about the Madam Web movie. Yeah, I don't know if I've ever actually done a full video talking about the Madam Web film. This is a real movie. It is coming out from Sony, and believe it or not, the most recent reveals about who certain actors will be playing in the movie are pretty intriguing. Like, people are excited about this. People are kind of hyped up for maybe the first time ever about Madam Web. So I want to go over the new info with you, but then we'll also talk about at the end of the video whether or not we actually think that the studio that did Venom without Spider-Man and released Morbius to bomb twice in theaters could actually pull this off. Spoiler warning, color me skeptical. But let's go over this. We are over on thecosmiccircus.com. This is a really cool exclusive gotten by Lizzie Hill over there. This is already confirmed and corroborated by a lot of other scoopers and even people on the Marvel Studios spoilers subreddit. So this is pretty much confirmed to be real information. So let's first talk about Cassandra Webb. Okay, Cassandra Webb, the first Madam Web. There's been a couple of different Madam Webs in Marvel Comics, and there was a lot of speculation on who these different actresses were actually going to be playing. But here Lizzie Hill says that she can confirm that Dakota Johnson is indeed playing Cassandra Webb. Now, the next person up is going to be Sydney Sweeney. This is, I believe, the actress from Euphoria. A lot of people super hot on this actress, and she is going to be playing Julia Carpenter. Okay, now Julia Carpenter is a really interesting character. She's Spider-Woman for a long time in the comics. She has a daughter that also has some spider powers, and she eventually becomes the new Madam Web. Here's a really interesting one here. Celeste O'Connor is playing Maddie Franklin, okay? And let's read the little blurb here because it's kind of interesting. Next up, we have Caliste O'Connor, who is playing Maddie Franklin. It's unclear to me what Mike Epps' role is in the film. And yeah, you didn't hear that wrong. Like, apparently freaking Mike Epps is going to be in this movie as well, right? But Lizzie's saying here that she wouldn't be surprised if Mike, is playing Maddie's dad, Jerry Franklin. It's also unclear at this time what hero names some of these characters will go by because at different points, Julia Carpenter and Maddie have both gone by Spider-Woman, and Julia has gone by both Madam Web and Spider-Woman. Next up, we have Elizabeth Mercedes as Anya Corazon. This one has been guessed at already, but as far as I know, no other reliable sites have confirmed this or the other cast characters I have listed here today. But yes, Isabella Merced is playing Anya Corazon, aka Spider-Girl. In July, Phantom Wire ran an exclusive that there is an Anya Corazon Spider-Girl live-action project in the works. I can't confirm that at this time, just making note of it here. And now for the really big ones, in my opinion. And yeah, this is the stuff that people are like really excited about or actually kind of getting hyped about. And it's the fact that Adam Scott might be playing Ben Parker. Yes, that's right. Adam Scott is playing Uncle Ben. It's great to see such a terrific actor be added to the list of live-action Uncle Bens, but of course, the fact that this is a relatively young Uncle Ben and one where it's unclear if his loving wife May is even in the picture means that this film, or at least part of it, is definitely taking place in the very early stages of the Spider-Verse, which leads to the final reveal, and that is that Emma Roberts is playing Mary Parker. That's right. It's Mary, not Aunt May. Emma Roberts is playing Peter Parker's mother in Madam Web. It is unclear where her husband and Ben's brother Richard Parker is or who may be playing him at this time. However, the fact that Roberts was caught looking very pregnant should mean he will pop up as well as someone else we already know and love by the end of it. Hopefully, that's talking about Peter. Madam Web cast has some exciting implications. So she goes on here to talk about this. The cast of Madam Web already had and many fans' attention as it gradually was revealed this year. But the cast and characters combined surely means that some very important events are about to unfold or not, depending on how successful this group of heroines is in their mission. Based on these last two reveals and a few other things, here is some fairly spoilery speculation from our own Spider-Maniac Alex Perez on what may be going on in this movie, and it is very high stakes and might have the Spider-Verse in it. So let's take a peek, man. Let's take a peek at Alex's article here. Madam Web features a very new web of heroes. Speculation has pointed in the direction that Madam Web will assemble a team of Spider Women for a mission. Thanks to Lizzie Hill's report linked above, we now know that these heroes will be Cassandra Webb, Julia Carpenter, Anya, Corazon, and Maddie Franklin. Dakota Johnson, Sweeney, you know the actresses by now. Additionally, Emma Roberts, whom many have speculated to be portraying Jessica Drew, is in fact Mary Parker, Peter Parker's mother. And lastly, Adam Scott has also been confirmed to be portraying Peter's uncle Ben Parker in the upcoming film. With the question of who is playing who finally answered, we can now focus on the next big question. Madam Web's story, how does it all fit together? Based on several images taken by Boston locals and paparazzi from the set, we know the film, or at least part of it, is set around 2003. This has led to some speculating that Madam Web is set within the Sam Raimi / Tobey Maguire films universe. However, given the appearance of Emma Roberts' very pregnant Mary Parker, as seen in the tweet above, it seems this is not the Raimiverse at all. Instead, it seems to be happening just before Peter Parker is to be born and in the early 2000s. Here's the picture of her looking really pregnant. There is also the factor of a relatively young Ben Parker, played by Adam Scott, being a paramedic. Recent set images have him seemingly working close alongside Dakota Johnson's Cassandra Webb on a very dangerous car crash and attempting rescue. Uncle Ben was not a paramedic in the comics, so this is a new angle for him. Very interesting stuff here. A mission to save the multiverse, or at least the Spider-Verse. Like most, I'm inclined to believe that the film will delve into some multiverse shenanigans, or at the very least time travel. I predict that the antagonist of this film, whoever it is, will target Ben Parker and Mary Parker for one sole reason: to prevent Spider-Man from ever existing in the first place. That's whether it's in a specific universe or any other Spider-Verse. A case could be made that these two individuals, at some of the most important people in Peter Parker's life, Peter could not have been born were it not for Mary, and Spider-Man would never exist without Ben Parker. Uncle Ben's death was one of the most important factors that shaped Peter Parker into Spider-Man. Without his wisdom and the iconic line, Spider-Man would not be the same person and hero we know and love. In Marvel Comics, there's a mystical force known as the Web of Life and Destiny. This web reality is synonymous with the multiverse and Spider-Verse. However, the Web of Reality focuses more on Spider-Man lore and characters rather than Marvel characters. Additionally, certain characters maintain this Web of Reality in place. They are called the Spider Totems. One of the more important Spider Totems is Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man. If you remove one of the primary totems, the multiverse would fall into imbalance and potentially rip itself apart. We already saw that happening during the events of Spider-Man No Way Home, and everyone in the universe started to collide with the Universe 616. Madam Web's sole purpose is to protect the Web of Life and Destiny by any means necessary. If someone threatens the balance of the multiverse by trying to eliminate Peter Parker before he ever exists, then the multiverse would be at fault and suffer the consequences of his death, and that would most certainly be a mission that would be worthy of Madam Web's attention. Okay, so that's a ton of fun speculation based on those reports. But a lot of people are thinking this. This essentially feels like something of a Terminator story set in a universe where there's a Spider-Man and some villain is trying to take out either Spider-Man himself or characters that were really important to the creation of Spider-Man. And I do have to say, this is starkly different than doing Venom without Spider-Man at all, Morbius without Spider-Man at all, and whatever the hell that post-credit scene was in Morbius. At face value, I like two major things about this. Number one, putting an emphasis on Spider-Man is key, and it's so cool to see that done through this Terminator lensing and having all of these Spider Women, some of which may be from the future, and they wouldn't even exist without Spider-Man, or at least have their powers, you know, and this idea of the totem and all of that sort of stuff. I like the story focusing on that, putting emphasis on how important Spider-Man is, and if this ties directly into the Sam Raimi verse, that would be fascinating. It's quite frankly really interesting how they might do a film with a bunch of Spider-Women that are still trying to save Spider-Man, and as a big Spider-Man fan, this still feels right. Like, it kind of makes sense, especially when you bring in the Madam Web of all of this and have it be this multiversal prequel Terminator story. It's like, we get the juice of Spider-Man, like, let's save Spider-Man, and all of us would be on board for that, but the different characters that are actually going to be fighting and kicking a bunch of butt to do this are all going to be Spider-Women. The other reason why this is so freaking cool is because of the possible lore that could be set up here for not just the Spider-Man of Tobey Maguire's universe, but Spider-Man in general, the web of life and destiny, how the spider totems interact with all the rest of the multiverse. And there's just the potential here to really add some sweet lore and canon and expand what Sony's been doing with their Spider-Man movies to set up with something that'll be similar to Secret Wars, or at least maybe via Across the Spider-Verse and some of these other things, you'll really get into that juice. We've known for some time now that Sony's really interested in doing live action Spider-Verse, playing around with all of the different Spider-Man as they did with Marvel Studios in collaboration for Spider-Man No Way Home. This Madam Web movie has sort of always been pointed out to be maybe their shot at making this make sense and establishing a jumping off point in lore, in rules, and all of the fun things that us nerds would need to be able to latch onto this story and multiple other stories that would all tie together. But the problem is, and where the skepticism comes in, is, well, this is freaking Sony. And even though there are rumors that Kevin Feige may be helping with the Madam Web movie, there's also insiders and scoopers throwing cold water on that, saying that that is not actually happening. And the word behind the scenes for the Madam Web movie was that Sony had no idea what they were doing, and they were just trying to do something super ambitious to try to catch up to where Marvel is. But just like many of the other Sony projects, it would end up feeling unearned, uninspired, and not well executed. On top of that, there are even people saying that these new characters and this Terminator type of plot is something that was recently added to the movie, that this might even be something that was done in reshoots or that was changed, that maybe the original bones of this film had nothing to do with that, but now they've kind of decided this is the way they want to go, which doesn't inspire much confidence for their ability to execute on it. So, I mean, at the end of the day, this is literally the most hype I've ever been for the movie. It is really interesting. I'm kind of down, but there's so much skepticism because it is Sony. I don't know. I don't know if I can get fully on board and fully hyped up for this thing, but it does seem like there's an actual plot here, an actual concept and idea, and they're not just getting as many good-looking actors and actresses as they possibly can and putting them in some kind of crap fest, and they'll just get all of our money anyway. But that's what I think about it. I definitely want to know what you think about this. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like this video if you found it entertaining or informative, or you just want to help me out. And come on by our live streaming channel too, where you can always ask me questions about anything I go over in a video there.